Thank you for watching WISD TV and welcome to another edition of Know Your Schools. My name is Dale Caffey. We have a special treat today because one of our teachers has become an author. Her name is Mary Evans. And Mary, thank you so much for joining us today. First of all, tell us where you teach at Waco ISD.
I teach at Brazos High Credit Recovery.
Okay, so you deal with some students who come to us in need of making up credit so they can graduate.
Yes, I actually am the middle school math teacher.
And you are a homegrown Waco ISD teacher, but you left town for a little while. Talk a little bit about your background, beginning with where you graduated from.
Okay, I'm a proud 1989 graduate of Waco High School. We are celebrating 25 years and we will be having our homecoming reunion this homecoming here October 3rd and 4th with Waco High, so I'm really excited about that. The classmates are excited to come back. I actually teach here in Waco, but my first career was in sales and marketing, and in management. So I actually worked for Russell Stover and Whitman's Box Chocolate Candy Company, and I worked for Colgate-Palmolive's pet division, Hill's Pet Nutrition. So I come with a business background and in sales and outside sales, and that has really made a difference in the classroom because I've been actually outside the classroom in corporate America.
And that corporate America experience wasn't necessarily in Texas either, right?
No, actually I was in Houston shortly after I graduated from Texas State in San Marcos, and then I was promoted actually to become a district manager in Northern California. So I lived in Houston and Sacramento, and then when I left Russell Stover Whitman's Box Chocolate Candy Company, I relocated down to Southern California. So I've moved around a little bit, and that was with Hill's Pet Nutrition.
And what brought you back to Waco, good old home?
I actually came home to write. I really did. I came home to write, and of course that was in 2005, so it's been 9 years in the making, but I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Okay, the book is called Thunder and Lightning, and it is a picture book, and it has a great story in it too. Talk a little bit about why you've always wanted to do something like this.
Well, I've always written in different venues, even when I was in school, at MCC, or in college at Texas State. I've always found a way of trying to document and write down things that have happened, events, and I love to tell stories as well. This actual picture book started out as a poem, and I really wasn't, I didn't write it to create a children's picture book. I actually just wrote it as a poem, and when I recited it and read it at Open Mic Poetry at Beatnik's Coffee House, which is where I was hosting it back in 2006 when I wrote the poem, folks would say, you need to really turn that into a children's picture book. And so it took 6.5 years to find someone who could convey and illustrate what thunder looks like. And so that was the challenge. And so I found Luis Perez, who was the illustrator, and the rest is history.
It's beautifully done. It's called Thunder and Lightning, as I mentioned, and it is a story about a thunderstorm and what happens during a thunderstorm. It's very interesting, but you mentioned it does come to life with the illustrations.
It really does. It really does. In order for me to find the illustrator, a friend of mine in Houston and I, a couple of Christmases ago, we went online and we said, we're going to find an illustrator for this book. I actually asked many people along the way, along the years, can you figure out, or can you draw thunder? And some renditions were okay, but when I submitted my manuscript to this company that Luis was contracted out of, he sent back the two samples, a sample of thunder and a sample of lightning. And when I opened the pictures up, the PDF files, the sketches, I just knew that he was the illustrator for me. And he's amazing. We communicate almost every day via Facebook, and he's in Portugal.
It's not easy to get published, is it? I mean, tell me about the process that has to take place. Obviously, you have to write it first, but somebody has to say, yeah, we like that idea.
Well, in this case, I didn't get picked up by a house. I actually self-published. And in self-publishing, if you kind of have the investment to get going and you decide what package you want to use or pursue, then you can kind of move forward. But thankfully, I had the type of package where I actually had all of the copy editing, the cover designers. I had a lot of help. Of course, it was out of Waco. It was in Indiana, so it really required me to exercise a lot of skills. And what I mean by that is I had to use really good communication skills, because I'm here in Texas and they're, out of the state, and they had to be able to figure out exactly what I wanted as far as a finished product. And it took 12 revisions to get this final product. It took a while.
Wow. Is this your first publication?
This is my first official published product.
And I take it it's not going to be your last.
No. And it's interesting because this children's picture book, which, as I said earlier, started out as a poem, was so random, literally. I mean, I got up one morning, March 31st, 2006. It may have been raining the night before that morning, and I grabbed my journal and my pen and started writing, and I remember finishing the last word saying to myself, what an odd poem. But I don't hold back when it comes to writing. I just allow whatever comes to me to just be added into the universe, if that makes any sense. And so this right here is it's kind of like a dream come true.
Well, it is well written. It's about the battle between thunder and lightning. It has stars in it. It has the sun in it. I don't want to tell the story before you tell it, but talk to me about how this book can be used in an elementary classroom.
Well, it actually can be used in not only an elementary classroom, but I really feel like it can be used at all grade levels. And what I mean about that, when the children cannot read, it's a great read aloud and a great book, because it only has 301 words, that allows children to memorize the book as a poem. And if they can recite it at the point when they start to learn about different literary elements, especially in an ELA class or setting, that they can draw back and refer to, oh, well, I remember in the book when it said this, this, and this. Is that what alliteration is? Or they can, draw from it. And so I'm real excited about the idea that students and teachers as well can use this in units for creative writing. Music teachers can use it for using instruments, because you can actually recite it with some music in the background. Science teachers can use it as a hook for opening up a unit or beginning a unit on weather, precipitation, meteorology, thunders, lightning. It's limitless. And so, I could go on, and so especially with grades 4, 7, and 9, when the students have to write for state assessment, that this is a great example for them to kind of glean from and the teachers to use. And with me being here in Waco, they can always say, can I contact the author? Yes, you can.
Okay, you recently had a book signing, I believe, and tell me how that went.
It was very difficult to organize and put together. I joke with people and tell them that it was like planning a wedding, and I'm not married. So it was a lot of work. I learned quickly that I could not do it by myself. So I asked many people to help in a variety of ways, and it was an amazing event. And the library here, James Carney, who's the director of the McLennan County Library, he actually worked with me in getting the place, the date booked and everything. And I'm going to donate actually a portion of the sales that I actually sold back to the Friends of the Library, which is a really good way of collaboration. It was from 11 to 1 o'clock. And I want to say, coming and going, we had probably close to 100 people in attendance. And one of the biggest things that, the greatest moments from it was not only just the excitement, but the vast array of folks from different cultures, young and old, who came, and my elementary school librarian, Charlotte Carpenter, was in attendance. And I just thought that was amazing that she could see one of her former students publish a book.
Very good. Once again, we're speaking with Mary Evans. Mary's a teacher at Brazos High School Credit Recovery and is also an author, something called Thunder and Lightning. Anything else on the horizon right now? You write on a daily basis or try to put journal entries in on a daily basis?
Things have changed. I love mostly to write pencil to paper or pen to paper. But since we have the electronic technology and Facebook, I do a lot of my writing on social media. I do a lot of my promoting of the book on social media. I have had the opportunity to share abroad the book in different ways, which otherwise we couldn't be able to do. So I just think that that this is just like only the beginning. I do have much more that I have in store. I have actually the synopsis of 5 screenplays that I've never seen on the big screen. I have a preteen series that's kind of like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but urban style, because I really want children to write a series that has children of color who are the lead characters, because we need more diverse text for children to read. And so I'm excited about that. And I can go on and on. I just have a lot to do.
Is it in bookstores?
Yes, it's available online through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Ex Libris, which is who I self-published with, and you can actually get it from me if you run into me.
Very good. Well, in closing today, I want to have you, because only the author, especially one as energetic as you, can really read and present this book in a fine fashion. And so I want to have you do it on WISD TV for us.
Okay.
Again, this is Thunder and Lightning by Mary E. Evans, illustrated by Luis Perez, and here's Mary.
Thank you. Okay. All right.
Again, it was written at Beatniks, right?
Yes. I actually wrote it during the time when I was hosting open mic poetry at Beatniks Coffee House. Okay. All right, here we go. Thunder and lightning got in a fight. It happened one dim, dark Saturday night. A gang of clouds created a billowy patch while the stars lined the clouds for the ringside match. Thunder in one corner was ready to blow, while lightning suited up to steal the show. Thunder sucked in his breath, deep enough, then belted out a sound so rough and tough. Lightning zipped and he zammed, he zoomed and he zittered, gliding through the clouds without a float or a flitter. Lightning said, shizzle, bizzle, fizzly, heck. And thunder said, pinga, ponga, hinga, right back. Lightning stood tall, a jagged bronze dagger, and flew through the air without a sway or a swagger. Thunder had his fist up, swinging in the air. Lightning swung his sword like he just didn't care. With one huff and one puff, thunder pounded the sky. With a gold-striped wiggle, lightning hissed a war cry. Thunder swung and he swung, ba-boom, ba-bum, ba-boom, ba-bum. And lightning swung and he swung, flung and he flung, pa-cheep-cha-chow, pa-cheep-cha-chow. While the stars sang a song, cheering them on, singing, who will win the fight? Who will win the fight? Who's gonna knock who out of sight? The clouds had their bets on lightning to win, while the stars chose thunder as the next kingpin. The battle raged on till the break of dawn. The stars nestled in the clouds began to yawn. With one final shout and one final blow, thunder and lightning ended their show. Wait, who won the fight? Who won the fight? Who knocked who out of sight? Now, if you really, really, really want to know who won, just look up in the sky and ask the sun.
Very good. Again, we're talking with Mary Evans. Mary, congratulations on a finally published book and great illustrations, and best of luck on your future.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Very good. Always be thinking about this Thunder and Lightning book the next time a storm rolls through. And thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Know Your Schools on WISD TV.